Good evening, brothers and sisters. Hope everyone's fantastic on this Monday evening. First and foremost, I've got to give me admiration and respect to Luke Dyson. I underestimated him massively. I never, went in there in any kind of shape. I wasn't in shape, and I struggle getting myself motivated for these gloved fights. That's the truth. After 8 fights in the BKFC, I do really struggle getting motivated, for these gloved fights. Even in the ring walk, and just felt very flat. I couldn't get the appropriate hormonal charge, like the nervous energy. It just wasn't there. I think that's down to having the gloves on for whatever reason. The intensity, the ferocity, the tenacity. It's not there. It's very different. The approach is different. You turn the knuckle over slightly differently. The defence is different. And when I watched that fight back, my defence was all over the place. I've got to give Luke Dyson his props because he hit me really hard in that second round with the left hand. A proper corker shot. And it wasn't a lucky punch. He went for it. He tried it. You seen him weighing it up, looking for the left hook. It's in the opening and landed it. Respect to him. For whatever reason, he done what a lot of people do. He admired the punch. It would have been good to see him jump on me. And, and it could have been a changing point in the fight, perhaps. I don't want to call it lack of experience, because the lad's got plenty of experience. But I feel with a good coach and the right training, he would have jumped on me there. When you catch somebody like that, you've got like 3 to 5 seconds, really. That's like it's like a crucial 3 to 5 seconds, or the standard chance of recovering, and that's what I done. But, I hit him with a good body shot, and I got him out of there. But Luke Dyson is a real nice kid. If I did have a bit of a playful approach to it, if you like. Like I say, I couldn't get the nervous energy going in the first round. And if I'd got him out of there in the first round with a playful approach, then I think I would have said to Luke in private, I would have liked to have seen him maybe come down a few levels and find his level. I'm in no position to say that to Luke Dyson, because he's got balls and he's got legitimate power, like the type of power that can, change the outcome of any fight. So I give him his props, man. A real nice kid. He's the type of lad, I could spend time with him. He really is that type of lad. I got a lot of time for him. Great lad. And we both got well paid. I'm glad we both went home safe. I got this Tommy Ensch trying to make a bit of noise. Tommy Ensch is not on my radar at all. If the money's there, I'll fight him in the morning. I've got a feeling that that the money just will not be there. Not what I want paid anyway. The days of me fighting people just to see who would win, they're gone. I want paid, and I just don't think the money will be on the table there regarding the Tommy Ensch fight. No disrespect to Tommy Ensch, a powerful fella who can have a fight, but he hasn't got the profile, and he certainly doesn't do the type of numbers that Luke Dyson does. And I know that's not everything, it isn't, but when it comes to getting financially rewarded, getting paid, it definitely means something in this day and age. So we'll see how it goes. If, like I say, if the money's there, I'll fight him anytime. Only time will tell. More concentrating on my return to the BKFC at the minute. I want to get this over the line and this contract signed and that, so I can really get going again in the gym as far as nutrition goes, and just having that, to get myself motivated, properly motivated, because I feel like I've got plenty left in us, and it's a different approach, man, this bare knuckle game. It really is. Like, I come out with that fight, all right, I got buzzed, but I come out with that fight the same as I did 3 weeks earlier with Chris Twine. I'm like, not a mark on me, no injuries, no pain, no nothing. Like, I struggle calling that a fight. That makes sense. Like, I struggle calling it a fight. If you're not bleeding and you're not in pain, I do struggle, attaching the word fight to it. But it is a fight, and it is a fight, but it's more of an athletic contest really than a fight. That bare knuckle game, it's just like, it's like putting 2 cats in a bag, and it's just, you're going to get blood. Kieran got the win. Kieran and Sam Clark. Kieran got him out there in the second round. He looked well. He's come on a lot, Kieran. I'm glad I got the finish and looked, you know, looked okay. You know, I didn't think I looked great at all, but you know, when you're not putting the work in the gym and that, you know, they're the kind of performances you're going to get. Like I say, it would have been great to see Luke jump on me when he buzzed me there, but you know, he let me off the hook, if you like. You know, maybe unintentionally, but this is the fight game. You know, that's the thing. I think, you know, Luke gets a bit of shit. You know, and the only thing I would say to Luke, what it would be, I would love to see Luke stop engaging with these bottom feeders. You know, stop reacting to every dog that barks. You know, it'd be good to see Luke get himself in a position, you know, where he's flying that high. You know, he doesn't even respond or react or even notice these, you know, these clowns who've got something to say. You know, and it's always the people who've done nothing and couldn't knock a wank out that have got, you know, something to say with the likes of Luke Dyson. Right, the lad, he's got power, legitimate power. He'll turn up and fight anybody. Like, what's not to respect about that? You know, probably the people who, you know, couldn't do fuck all with themselves. You know, the people who can hardly look at themselves in their own mirror are the people who are going to give the likes of Luke Dyson shit, you know. So, absolute credit and respect to the lad. You know, Luke Dyson, big up yourself. And I'm a fan, you know, and I'll be supporting him in the future. It would be good to see him get a coach and, you know, and refine his style a little bit. But, you know, this is what he wants to do. You know, he wants to get on the road and he wants to fight anybody. So, what's not to respect about that? Fair play, Luke Dyson. God bless you, mate. And I hope everyone's fantastic. I'm going to put a bit of telly on here in the man cave. I'm a little bit ropey. I had a couple of shandies on Sunday. Not major, but hey ho. Hope everyone's had a great Monday. God bless you all. Ta-ra for now. Oh, I'm getting old. My skin round my eyes when I've been smashed to pieces. Ta-ra now. Ta-ra.